Evening, PWCS families, and welcome to the Family Engagement Series. My name is Yanette Boyd, and I am the Supervisor for Family and Community Engagement. Today's session is the secret ingredient for stronger attendance is student and family support. Tonight's session will be recorded and will be presented in the requested languages of English, Chinese, and Spanish. Next slide, please. We will turn on the interpretation globe once the slide has been presented in all the requested languages. So if you're on your computer, we're going to ask you to look for the interpretation button on your control bar. Once you click on it, pick your desired language. Then your icon should change. If you're on your phone, click on the Join Audio and click Call over Internet. Click on the three dots and More. Click on the Language Interpretation and click on the language you want and done. At this time, the Chinese interpreter will review the slides.
你好，如果您是用电脑连接本次会议的话，那你请在右边找到有一个地球图标的写着传译的或者是英文 interpretation 的这样的一个按钮，点击它之后，选择你想要倾听的语言，也就是中文。那么这个时候，你的图标的文字也会改变成中文 Chinese，Mandarin。那么如果用手机连接的话，那么请在你这里点击用音频加入，然后使用网络加入会议，网络音频加入会议。那么之后点右边的3个点，展开菜单之后，在这里同声传译 interpretation 这里选择你想要用的语言，也就是中文 Chinese。谢谢。OK。
Thank you. At this time, the Spanish interpreter will review the slides.
Muy buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la reunión. Hoy se va a ofrecer la interpretación en diferentes idiomas. Tenemos inglés, chino y español. Si están conectados por medios de una computadora, por favor busquen en la barra inferior de Zoom el icono de globo. Cuando se habilite la interpretación, tienen que hacer clic y seleccionar el idioma que deseen escuchar. Y también tienen que ver el icono del idioma que están escuchando. Si están conectados por medio de un teléfono, tienen que conectarse por medio de unirse por audio y después hacer clic en llamar por internet. Después tienen que hacer clic en los 3 puntos de más y seleccionar el idioma en el idioma que deseen escuchar. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. At this time, we will go ahead and begin interpretation. Next slide, please. So at this time, I would like to welcome our presenter for this evening. Joining us today, we have Ms. Kim McLaren. She is the Supervisor of Student Prevention Programs and Family Assistance with Prince William County Public Schools. Welcome, Kim.
Good evening, Mrs. Boyd. Thank you for that warm welcome. Can everybody see my screen?
We can see your screen. It's still in the PowerPoint mode.
Okay. Let me stop sharing again. What about now?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you again, everybody. Happy Attendance Awareness Month, everyone. Good evening again. My name is Kim McLaren, and I am the proud supervisor of Student Prevention Programs and Family Assistance located in the Student Health and Wellness Department, Shaw. So at Prince William County Schools, we believe that family engagement is a powerful partnership between parents, educators, and community organizations, all working together to support your child's learning and development. This partnership means walking alongside you, providing the support you need to help your child get to school every day. When families have a voice in decisions that affect their children, understand how attendance impacts their child's well-being and success, believe that showing up to school leads to a brighter future, and trust that schools are here to help support them, children are more likely to attend school consistently and to thrive. Tonight, we want to celebrate you, our parents, as the key to stronger attendance. And we're here to show how Prince William County Schools is committed to supporting you every step of the way. Tonight, I will share important strategies for families to support their children. Supporting positive attendance begins with developing good habits to set the foundation for lifelong learning and success, and continues by closely monitoring attendance to keep students on track through graduation. By the end of this presentation, families will know and understand the following attendance strategies. Know the facts, why school attendance is important, how do we build habits of good attendance early, help with staying engaged and on track, and how to communicate with school when your child does need to miss school. What you can do to support your child's attendance is extremely important, and we love for you all to really start working with attendance very early on when your child first enters our school division. We encourage parents to establish and maintain daily routines that help your child get to school on time and be ready to learn. Keep your child healthy and ensure they're up to date on their required immunizations. Have a backup plan for getting your child to school. Reach out to family members, neighbors, or another trusted adult if something unexpected comes up early. Schedule appointments and trips wisely. Try to plan medical visits and vacations when school's not in season. Talk to your child if they seem anxious or reluctant about going to school. Reach out to teachers, school counselors, or other staff members for support. And if you're unsure whether your child is too sick to attend school, visit our When to Keep Children Home webpage or call your school for guidance. If your child must stay home due to illness, please notify the school as soon as possible so we can keep accurate records and offer the necessary support. So did you know that why attendance matters more than you think? Attendance is the #1 predictor of whether a student will graduate or drop out of school. Missing just 2 days a month, even in kindergarten and first grade, can lead to reading delays. Only 17% of chronically absent students in early grades are actually able to read on grade level by third grade. Students who miss 5 to 9 days per semester are 25% less likely to graduate high school in 4 years. And just a few absences can impact academic performance. 5 to 9 absences can drop a student's GPA, from a 3.0 to a 2.7%. By sixth grade, attendance is one of the top 3 signs a student may be at risk of dropping out. And by ninth grade, attendance is a stronger predictor of graduation than 8th grade test scores. Frequent absences may signal that a student is struggling, whether it's with academics, bullying, or something else. We're here to help you. Again, missing 10% of the school year, and that's just 2 days a month, can seriously affect your child's academic success. Your involvement makes a difference. I encourage you, let's work together to keep your child on track and in school. So how can we help? And how can you help by keeping your child engaged and in school? We encourage you to talk to your child about how they feel in class, and do they feel interested in what they're learning? Do they feel safe from bullying or other concerns? If they answer yes to any of those questions, we encourage you to reach out to your school for the necessary supports. If your teen is missing class due to behavior challenges or discipline issues, please reach out to your school. We're here to help work with you and to find a solution to the barrier. Keep track of your child's academic progress. And if they're struggling, connect with your teachers or ask about tutoring options. Make sure your teachers know how to reach you. Ensure that Parent View is up to date regularly. Pay attention to your child's social life. Peer pressure can lead to skipping school. While feeling isolated can make school feel overwhelming, it oftentimes really further exasperates what's going on when we don't address it. Encourage your child to join after-school activities like sports, clubs, or interest-based groups. These help build connection and motivation and foster a sense of belonging. If your child shows signs of anxiety or stress, let them know that you're there for them and don't hesitate to reach out to the school counselors or support staff for additional services. Your involvement makes a big difference, and together we can help your child feel connected, confident, and ready to succeed. So, how do you communicate with the school? If your child will be absent, please notify the school before or at the start of the school day within 5 school days. You can send a written notification to school. You can send an electronic message explaining the reason for the absences located in Parent View. But it's important that you are communicating with the school within 5 days of your child needing to be absent. If your child is participating in a school-sponsored activity, the school will update their attendance record automatically. You'll receive a text notification if your child is absent and the school hasn't received prior notice. Elementary school parents get a message in the morning, while middle and high school parents receive messages in the morning and the evening. These reminders help you stay on top of attendance and ensure your child's record is truly accurate. If you don't respond and the school doesn't receive verification within 5 school days, the absence will be marked as unexcused. But once you respond, the absence will be updated to excused or unexcused based on the reason you provide. If you receive an attendance letter, it means that your child has missed 3 or more unexcused absences, which would equal a truancy notification letter. If your child receives an excessive excused absence letter or a letter that calls out chronically absent, it's because your child has either missed 9 or more days to equal these letters. So who can help? School teams at your child's school are available to assist you with improving and establishing routines. You can reach out to school administrators, school counselors, school nurse, school social workers, parent liaisons, teachers, and the list goes on and on. We are always here to stand ready to serve and support you with whatever needs that come your way. We've talked a little bit about what do you need to do when communicating your absences, but parents are notified daily when when students miss absences from school and the school has not received the prior notification. Daily attendance notifications remind you as the parent to contact the child's school within 5 days, like we talked about before. But the student attendance records are updated from unverified to excused or unexcused after the school receives parent verification of the absence. Unverified absences are changed to unexcused if the school does not receive parent verification within the 5 days. So when to stay home? A guide to student illness. So it's imperative that if your child is sick, you understand when to keep your child home, whether it's due to illness, truancy, or other reasons. They fall behind and they face challenges in keeping up with their classmates. While children and adolescents may occasionally need to stay home due to sickness, we aim to reduce the number of days your student is absent from school. That's why it's imperative that we keep in constant communication around what's happening with your child. On this slide, you notice we have many reasons on when your child is too sick to come to school. And so it really identifies when your child should stay home and when they should come to school. So the difference between a runny nose and a cough versus if your child has a fever. If your child has hand, foot, and mouth disease, we do have guidance for that and when it's okay for your child to return back to school. If your child has head lice and they're unable to participate in regular activities due to severe itching, it's appropriate treatment. Your child should not return to school until appropriate treatment has begun. Pink eye, or the red with swelling of the eyelids and or eye discharge without a healthcare diagnosis, you're able to return your child to school when your child is non-symptomatic or has been cleared to return from a healthcare provider. And strep throat. If your child has a sore throat or difficulty swallowing with a fever, if your child is fever-free and the 12 hours of appropriate antibiotic therapy has been provided to your child. What is chronic absenteeism? Chronic absenteeism is when student misses 10% or more days of school, whether it's excused or unexcused. For example, by the end of the first quarter, which is typically about 40 days long, a student has missed 4 days of school. That student has been chronically absent from school. If your student misses just 2 days of school per month by the end of the school year, they will have been chronically absent from school, totaling about 18 days of school. If your student is chronically absent from school, you may be contacted by the school staff to discuss ways to get your student back on track. But you may also receive a letter regarding your absences that the child has incurred. Now let's talk about truancy versus chronic absenteeism. Understanding the difference is key. Truancy versus chronic absenteeism is that we want to ensure and help to clarify that it's an important message that families understand that truancy refers to only unexcused absences. It focuses on following school attendance rules and may lead to legal consequences if the child's absences are not addressed. While consequently, chronic absenteeism, on the other hand, includes all absences, whether they're excused or unexcused. Focused here is on how missing school affects your child's learning and development. It's also important to note that a student can be chronically absent without being truant. Chronic absenteeism is defined again as by missing 10% of the school year, and that's 18 days out of 180 days within the year. Again, and I can't stress enough that missing 2 days a month can quickly add up and lead to your child being chronically absent. Every day matters, and if your child is facing challenges that makes it hard for them to attend school regularly, again, please reach out. Understanding attendance and how PWCS supports you is extremely important. The school year includes approximately 180 days, which means missing 18 days is 10%. You'll receive a text message if your child is absent, like I said before, and hasn't received a prior notice, but understanding how these days add up to whether you're chronically absent or you have good attendance, truancy, or therefore so forth and so on. When we talk about truancy, when a child reaches 5 or more days unexcused absences, an initial intervention conference is required at the school-based level. If your child misses 1 more additional unexcused absences after the initial conferences, an interagency meeting or student support team meeting will take place next. Your children's school will continue to track and monitor the interventions and reach out with you to provide the necessary supports to ensure that your child is attending school on a regular basis. When you receive a phone call from the school, they honestly want to help mitigate the barrier. They want to know, how do we support? They want to know, how can we engage? Because we understand when children are not in school, how it impacts them academically. We have several services and resources that are available, not just internally within our school division, but externally as well. On the screen, you see a list of providers that support us, community service agencies that we've partnered with, if you're facing some of these issues or concerns. We talk about here, we have the food hotline, we have the hunger prevention hotline, the suicide prevention hotline, the crisis text hotline, child protective services, community services, and social services. All of our partnered agencies are ready to serve and support you. I'm sorry, I skipped a slide. I wanted to really call out to this afternoon or this evening, the support around the mental health telehealth services that are available in Prince William County Schools, which is our partnership with Hazel Health. Students at no cost, students that attend schools in Prince William County Schools have the ability at no cost to families to get support through Hazel Health. It's a well-established telehealth provider, and this initiative provides access to mental health care, ensuring that students receive the support they need without delay, regardless of their ability to pay or insurance status. Hazel Health is available to students daily. If you find that your child is needing additional support, please reach out to and use the hotline, the services that are available here on the screen. The additional Marion County Schools attendance resources here are also available. If you launch on our attendance website, on PWCS's website, we have attendance guidelines, similarly to what we just heard this evening around when to keep your child home, what are our processes around attendance, when to stay home from school if your child is too sick. We also have attendance officer information and who your child's attendance officer is per school. We have some dropout prevention notification and information as well. And we also have students in needs of assistance. If your child is in need of additional assistance or community resources, all of these resources are available on our web pages. Understanding the importance of attendance and knowing what resources are available when support is needed is crucial to student success. When students attend school regularly, they actively participate in learning, they build valuable life skills, and they prepare for future responsibilities, such as work, college, and other commitments. I want to thank you again for joining us tonight and for your continued partnership in your child's education. At PWCS, we know that consistent attendance is key to academic success, and we're committed to working with families to support every student. Your involvement matters, whether it's responding to attendance notifications, communicating with your child's school, or simply encouraging daily attendance. Your actions make a difference. We're here to help. And if your child is facing challenges that impact attendance, please do not hesitate to reach out. We have resources, support teams, and caring staff ready to assist. Please, let's stay connected. Together, we can ensure your child feels safe, supported, and ready to learn every day. Because when students show up, they grow up, and most importantly, they graduate. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kim, so much for that information. I do have a question for you. You talked about the student support team. Can you talk a little bit about that and like maybe who's involved and what are some things that as a student support team you can do for a student?
Absolutely. So our student support team process is really a robust think tank at the school level building, if you can bear with me, right? So we have various lens of stakeholders that come together, whether we're talking about school level administrators, teachers, counselors, school social workers, parent liaisons, attendance officers, that really come to the table, MPSS coaches as well. I wanted to really call them out and really come together and think about and talk about what's happening with the state of our children. And so our student support teams, they don't just talk about attendance per se. We talk about any time we see a child that is in need of support. So whether it's an academic support, whether it's behavior support, or whether it's attendance support, these stakeholders come together and we talk about what do we notice about the child? What are some things that the child is exhibiting? What are some barriers that are getting in the way? And then most importantly, how do we support the child? Oftentimes when we're together, it's really around figuring out who's going to case manage the child and involving the parents on what's going on along the way. So when a child is brought up for the student support team process, parents are definitely involved to know what's happening and what supports are being provided to the schools. Once the interventions are identified to mitigate the barriers, a case manager, like I said, is assigned to the child who's responsible for tracking and monitoring the student to ensure that they're making good on the interventions that the team has identified to support the child.
So in essence, what we're saying, of course, is that no matter what your child is going through or what is, going on in the personal life, if it is affecting attendance, you can reach out to the school for support, and it's a variety of support. And as Ms. McLaren mentioned, it could be whether it's mental health, whether, you need support with food, other things like that. Those are the things that you definitely need to reach out to your school for support. This session was recorded, and so I will be providing a follow-up email to everyone who registered with today's presentation, along with the video recording. We will be placing the survey in the chat because, as always, we do want your feedback on how we're doing and the type of programming that you want to see in the future. I will also have, some contact information should you have any additional questions for Ms. McLaren, or even, attendance officers at the school. We'll make sure that you have those resources with any additional questions. So thank you again, Kim, for joining us tonight. I appreciate you all coming on for this session tonight, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Nettie, you ready for me to end it?